Are you serious? Are you serious? Thank you for watching this Patreon. Thank you for being a member of our Patreon channel. You're helping us spread the gospel of Jesus Christ all over the world. There's a phenomenon that's been going on in Yorkshire, England, that nobody knows about, but it's the waters of woe. It's a prophetic sign or an omen. I believe it's a prophetic sign of events that are about to take place, usually catastrophes on a biblical scale. The waters of woe are because there's a river called the Gypsy Race River. Now, the riverbed remains dry for maybe sometimes for years. Then all of a sudden, water comes out of the ground and it flows for a while. Every time this happens, it's just before a major event, usually a massive catastrophe. Over the centuries, this legend of the waters of woe has grown up from the Gypsy Race River. It's a harbinger or a warning of evil only flowing before a major calamity or a catastrophe, an event that strikes the land. Maybe it's a battle or a plague or a famine or some type of a very, very traumatic event that takes place. And that's why the river, when it would show up, and this river comes out of the ground and flows for a while and then disappears and then stops flowing. Doesn't matter if it rains and doesn't matter if it doesn't rain, doesn't matter what. It comes from the earth. Now, the Gypsy Race River apparently flowed in the years before the famines before the anarchy of the 12th century, civil war between King Stephen and the Empress Matilda. Also, it flowed just before the Black Death hit all of Europe and killed over 50 million people. It flowed the start of the English Civil War and the execution of King Charles I. It flowed in the restoration of King Charles II. It flowed again just as the Great Plague of 1666 took place. And it came out and flowed again during the Fire of London. Also during the landing of Prince William of Orange. And it flowed again the year of the start of the Glorious Revolution. The year of bad harvest in 1861 it flowed. It flowed the year of the Great North Sea Storm of 1888. And the years before the start of both World War I and World War II. Both at the beginning of each war, the rivers of woe flowed in Yorkshire, England. And it did in the winter of 1947, just before the winter of 1947, one of the hardest winters they ever had, and again before the harsh winter of 1962, where snowdrifts were as high as 12 feet high, cutting off the villages in the area for days without food or water. The tumultuous history of that region, known as the Waters of Woe, seemed to be an omen, a prophetic sign, a prophecy of calamities, catastrophes, catastrophic, cataclysmic events on a biblical scale. Now we know even the year of 1795, just before a meteorite crashed into the ground there in Yorkshire, England, the Gypsy Race River flowed again. The waters of woe. I think about that a little bit because we know that the earth is going to get hit with 2 deep impacts in the last days. So should we keep an eye on the waters of woe? Maybe before the year of Apophis comes in 2029? I'm going to check into this a little deeper. Keep watching this channel. I'll tell you more. Thank you for being a member of my Patreon channel. We're living in the last days, and the signs of his coming are everywhere. Are you saved?